light, so I don't think you can really see me, but that's okay. Today's going to be kind of fun. I am going to be removing the Gen 1 MadTrace JQWerks steering wheel to replace it with the Gen 2. I just figured it was time. It's just an impressive piece. Like, the Gen 1 was phenomenal. It was one of the first big modifications that I ever made to the car. I think it was actually the first. The only thing I did prior to was the PRL high volume intake, and that steering wheel hub just sort of opened the floodgates for me. It's just it was when I realized that modifying cars is not only about just modifying it. It's about being able to just throw as many cool parts and well-made parts at your car as possible. And JQWerks MadTrace, they have just been pumping out such phenomenal quality items that I decided to go and grab the Gen 2. There's just more programmability, more features. You have the ability to get paddle shifters. Now, I know, of course, these cars do not need paddle shifters, but you still can program them to do whatever you need to. And I've already tested them out. I've felt them out. They feel great, and they sort of just tickle my brain. I have some commitments at 2. Hopefully I can be done by then, but I do need to remove the driver's side seat just so that I can have my my workspace be a little bit less restrictive. They're fun to sit in while you're driving, but to work in, I don't know. Also, I do need to torque down some bolts because I kind of skipped that part, and it's and I also got to identify why the airbag light is still on, even though the cancelers that came with it are plugged in. And I'm also going to reflash it because I've been dealing with the stage 1 pops and bangs for quite a bit. I'm probably going to drop that down to just the standard Integra Type S pops and bangs because it is a little much. Just getting a new steering wheeling. JQWerks MadTrace. I gotta stop saying this name because JQ, first of all, is maybe I'm in the internet too much because that's a little questionable. Steering wheel hub is in, everything's connected. Slight issue I need to resolve. There were actually a few issues with the install because I got a little too confident in myself. Even though I had done this like a year ago, I still felt like things were okay. I didn't rush, but it did feel like something I had like handled before. It took me about 2 hours to get everything done. It is a lot more wiring than the Gen 1, so that was a thing that was slightly nerve-wracking. The install video on their website, they give a QR code with the package. It takes you straight to where you need to go, which is nice, very in-depth and detailed. That can't stop you from like accidentally missing a clip or not making sure it's fully seated. So I ran into that issue with the gauge cluster. I ended up not pressing the clip all the way in. I started the car, everything was black. Nothing turned on. The car was working, I could still drive it, it was fine, but the gauge cluster and the radio did not want to turn on. The radio was asking for a code, I didn't know what to do. Freaking out because I had to get to the restaurant to meet my friends, but I was like, you know what, I'll just go. I started driving the car and rev match was not working, so I'm going to turn around and go back and fix this because I can rev match myself, kind of. Well, rev matching is fine. Heel towing is where I have the problem. I can't do that effectively without a tachometer. I had to turn around, fix it. I knew exactly what I needed to fix because I had a slight nervous feeling about the clip on the back of the gauge cluster, but I tightened it down, everything was fixed, everything was working just fine. But did not hit save on most of the buttons that I had programmed, like all the controls, so I was hitting buttons that weren't doing what I was expecting them to do, which was a tough spot to be in. I didn't enjoy that. So while I was driving, I was hitting lane keep assist and I couldn't turn it off. I got back on the computer once I got home and I made sure it was all fixed. But yeah, this thing looks so cool. Everything feels so good. And being able to like choose exactly what the buttons do is so nice. Like I said, for the install, there are a lot of clips and wires, and you're pulling out a center console cover. You're removing that side. You're not really removing the side panel of the center console, but you got to get underneath there. You're removing panel to the left of the steering column. You're removing the steering column. You're taking out the gauge cluster shroud, so you've got to pull out some of the AC vents. So you're pulling this car apart, which is luckily something I am not a stranger to, given I've done the whole dashboard myself. I was able to have some confidence, but unfortunately the confidence was stripped away as soon as I turned on the car. I'm going to have to fix a few things because unfortunately the steering wheel is misaligned, because I was having a hard time torquing down the steering wheel bolt just because it is a tight space to be in, and I don't have like a digital torque wrench. It was tough, but I got it tightened down. Unfortunately, it is just misaligned, so I'll have to fix that as soon as I can. I'm probably gonna do that today. I don't have much going on. Yeah, and I also gotta clean this car. I'm gonna turn the car on so you can see what colors we've got. You can also program. I have 2 different profiles set. The first one I set was sort of just like the crash course, and then the second profile is one that I'm actually going to be using because the brightness for the light is way brighter than you'd think. When you're driving at night, it is actually distracting. So if you have the OLED horn button thing, you can adjust it on the fly, but I didn't opt for that because I just don't like the way it looks. I have the right side larger paddle set to do nothing because, like I've said, I enjoy just pressing it. Left side larger paddle is set to turn on R mode, R plus mode. R plus mode, like I haven't had this car for 2 years. Plus R mode. Turns that on right away. The upper, like smaller paddles on each side are for volume controls. So I can turn it down, turn it up. I have all the stickers laid out. I have traction control in the left corner. Yeah, unfortunately, this lens does not agree with sort of close, confined areas. Whoa, that's really loud in here. I'm so bad at filming. I've got the cancel button right here. Cruise control set right... Oh no, did I really? I did 2 cruise controls. This one is the lane keep assist. That's what it's supposed to be, but I put the wrong sticker on it. Everything is set to do what I want it to do. I don't like having a bunch of different colors going on in the cabin, so I just have these set to white. The brightness is currently on like a 5 for nighttime, but that still seems a little bit bright for me. Maybe I'll have to turn it down, but we shall see. Shift lights are all white because I don't want to have 2 different shift lights going at the same time. We've already got the ones that come with the car, and then we have, I don't want those to be a further distraction. Phenomenal piece of work. It is like a masterpiece. I just like these, and I like just the design. I don't know if I'll be able to show it on camera here. It is all machined out of billet aluminum, and it has nice just lines going through it. The only sort of gripe I have with this is that I see when they're working with their GT3 or GT4 in the JQWerks channel, their steering wheel, this plate right back here that you press, instead of it being gold, it's silver. I would have loved to have that option because I just think that looks cooler. Everything in the car works, and that's all I really could have asked for.